Hey guys, this is the Stupendous Wave here with another podcast today, and in this one I'm joined by a couple very awesome guests. I'm joined by Ellis.
Hello guys.
Haza, who will be back shortly, Wesley,
Yo.
Sean,
Hey everybody.
Jurassic World,
Hey guys.
Captain, and Axel.
Hey guys, what's up? Actually, it's 94 here.
And for our questions for the podcast today, we'll be talking about what dinosaur team are we on. There was a recent website that released this versus thing, like choose your team, and the choices were Velociraptor, T-Rex, Spinosaurus, and Indominus Rex. And we're all each going to choose which team we're on. If we could have any job at Jurassic World, what would we have? We're going to talk about a sequel. Will there be a sequel? How would we do a sequel? How do we think the sequel will go? What is the most important thing to the story of Jurassic World? How would we make a video game about Jurassic World? What things are we most worried for about Jurassic World? We're going to talk about the Indominus Rex's abilities, what we think it may have and what it does have. We're going to share our thoughts on the Raptor designs, the T-Rex design. We're going to talk about our thoughts on the Raptors having names and what we think of the names. And for just two more questions, we'll be talking about, should the Baryonyx and the Suchomimus be in the same movie? Should they share screen time because they're so similar? Should we have a different dinosaur? What dinosaur would we replace it with? And our last topic, we'll be talking about the rumored wild raptor pack that is rumored to be in the restricted area. So as far as what dinosaur team are we on, I'm definitely Team Raptor. I love the Raptors. Spinosaurus and T-Rex are the two big ones, but for me, I absolutely adore the Raptors. They're absolutely phenomenal creatures. In my mind, they're kind of the stars of Jurassic Park because they're in every single movie, and each one has a big predominant scene in each movie, and I absolutely adore the Velociraptors. They're the most intelligent dinosaurs we've run into thus far in the movies. They're some of the most dangerous. They're the perfect size for killing people, and that's just what I think. What do you think, Ellis? Which team are you on?
I'm on two teams. I'm on Team Raptor and Team Tyrannosaurus Rex. Obviously, because they're both the franchise that got some of its popularity from the T-Rex in the first film. It started off there with the T-Rex, which is why most people would go with the T-Rex. And the Raptors, they've had the scariest scenes in the films. The carnivore scenes are the best. And the Velociraptor scenes, especially in the kitchen, Jurassic World, in the field, no, not Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, The Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, that scene in the, what was that? What was that place that they were in?
A radio control area.
Yeah, and yeah, that scene. They're the best scenes in the films, the scariest scenes. And I really can't pick between the T-Rex and the Velociraptor. It'd just be too hard for me. So yeah.
Well, since Haza will be here shortly, he asked me to just kind of read his thoughts on what he thinks. He's definitely Team Spino. It's tied for him for number one with Carcharodontosaurus. He says he loves it because it's the biggest land walking dinosaur that ever lived, and he says it's just all around an amazing dinosaur, and he loves it to death, and it's hands down the Spinosaurus. So what do you think, Wesley? Which one's your favorite?
Well, it was kind of split down the middle once I saw the Jurassic World trailer, the first one at the end. I bet everybody was excited to see him Owen ride with the Raptors. But I've always been Team T-Rex since I was like 4. So I'd have to stick, if I had to pick one right now, I'd have to say T-Rex. But maybe this Jurassic World will change my mind on that. Maybe I'll go to Team Raptor.
Sean?
Alright, first off, Stupendous Wave, I'd like to thank you for giving me the chance to speak on your podcast. I'm going to be Team T-Rex. Ever since I was a kid, I remember going to the movie theater and seeing Jurassic Park the first time. the scene when the T-Rex, she was breaking out of her gate after she ate the goat and spit the leg on the car. And just the blood coming down from the goat scared me half to death. I remember growing up. And also the scene where the T-Rex was chasing Ellie Muldoon and Malcolm, and you see in the side view mirror on the car, objects may look closer than they appear. Every time anybody looks in that mirror, they think of Jurassic Park. And to me, that's why I'm Team T-Rex.
Good job, dude. Jurassic World.
I'm split down the middle as well. I'm T-Rex and Raptor, but mostly the T-Rex just because it's so iconic in the franchise, and I've always loved the T-Rex when I was a kid. And just seeing it for the first time breaking out of its paddock and just the almighty power of the T-Rex, it's awesome. I love the T-Rex. I hope it's in trailer 2, at least maybe just a shot of it roaring, or just the roar in the trailer. That's all I really want. But I'm split down the middle. I like Team Raptor and T-Rex, so I don't know really which to choose.
Captain?
Really, it's got to be Team Raptor for me. It's always going to be Team Raptor. Obviously, the Raptors were, like the main villains in all 3 films, with the T-Rex involved as well. But, the Raptors really did turn the tide in the first movie, feared through the whole movie, talked about through the whole movie, and then we actually got to see them, wreak havoc on the park. So I really think it's going to be interesting to see their roles switched, whereas they're helping Owen, fight the D-Rex. So I'm really interested to see how their roles are going to be reversed in the film.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool to watch them fight the I-Rex. What do you think, Axel?
If I have to choose just one team, it will definitely be T-Rex, because it has always been and will always be my favorite dinosaur of all time. I just think it's an amazing dinosaur, one of the most well-known ones. It's so iconic. Also, it's the star of all the Jurassic Park movies we have seen so far. It's so beloved, and I also. Don't get me wrong, because I also love the Velociraptors. The T-Rex and the Velociraptors, they are few of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park scene with personalities. That's one thing I've always loved, with these 2 species of dinosaurs shown in Jurassic Park. And also, many scenes of both these guys have scared me a lot when I was a kid. And I will always love these dinosaurs.
Good thoughts. So for our next question, we'll be talking about if we could have any job in Jurassic World, what job would we have? And for me, I would definitely want to be like the person that watches over the T-Rex. I would want to be the person that monitors the T-Rex and that makes sure that she's doing what she's supposed to be doing, that the visitors are doing what they're supposed to be doing. I just would want to spend all day with the T-Rex. The Raptors, they're not in the park, and I definitely would not want to be hands-on with the Raptor, because as we see Owen, I think that would be freaking terrifying, and I don't think I could remain calm around them. I think I would totally freak out just looking at them. But being in a nice, comfy control panel, being able to feed the T-Rex when she needed to be fed or when they needed to be fed, I just think that would be awesome. Spending time with a beautiful animal like that, from a very safe distance, just admiring it, studying its habits, and man, could you imagine a YouTube channel centered around a T-Rex paddock, being able to be not in the T-Rex paddock, but around the T-Rex paddock, being able to feed it, being more hands-on with the T-Rex, not touching it and stuff, but like being able to choose when you feed it, being able to learn its habits. I just think that would be amazing, and it would make you one of the most knowledgeable people in the world when it comes to T-Rexes, because you'd be spending your whole working days with it, and that's why I would personally want to be the person that would monitor the T-Rex, because I definitely think a person or even multiple people should be monitoring each paddock in Jurassic World, and that's the job I would want. What do you think, Alice? Which job would you want?
2 jobs. to be honest. Probably, you know, Owen is like the trainer and the carer for the raptors. I'd probably be that, but for one of the bigger carnivores, just so he doesn't eat me and I can trust him if he escapes. And the other job, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I'd probably work on the ferry because it's the furthest job away from the dinosaurs, and maybe you could get a free sandwich at lunch.
Well, Haza said that he would want to be a tour guide. He would want to show people around and just see their faces whenever they would see a dinosaur for the first time. And he'd want to show people all the new dinosaurs that they have and everything that's going on in the park. And he said if he couldn't be a tour guide, he'd want to be a security specialist. He'd want to know the park inside and out. So that's just basically his thoughts on it. Wesley, what do you think? What job would you want?
Well, to be honest, when you said you wanted to be that close to the T-Rex, I thought you better double up your life insurance. But no, I would just be happy to have a job there. I would just want to be a normal park ranger, just to keep an eye on everything, a safe distance. But just to be able to drive around the Jeeps and have the walkie-talkies, and I would just be happy to be there. So just a park ranger that just keeps an eye on things, maybe keeps people from getting too close to stuff, but not people that interact exactly with the dinosaurs. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
Sean?
Well, personally, I think I would like to be like an architect slash engineer. I'm really handy. I build things for a living, so just the chance of maybe designing buildings for Jurassic World or designing the paddocks or areas around the park and building them, I think that would be very enjoyable for me and people to come to the park and enjoy the architecture that I've provided them would be definitely awesome. The second job that I would like would be a security guard, and I'm not talking about like animal security. I'm talking about like making sure people don't steal anything, because if they did, I'd throw them in a cage with raptors or a T-Rex.
What do you think, Jurassic World?
Well, Haza did take my idea. I did want to be a tour guide and show people the dinosaurs. But for another one, I'd probably work with the mosasaur. Like, not working with it, but do something with the mosasaur. I don't want to clean up his poop, though, but just something with the mosasaur.
What do you think, Captain?
For me, it's got to be Owen's job. Like, I know, like, being hands-on with the raptors and everything isn't, you know, like the most popular thing. But, you know, I think I'd actually like to spend some time with an animal that's nearly as intelligent as me and, you know, isn't actually a proper human being. Like, you know, just spend some time understanding it and stuff like that. Sounds a bit deep, but, you know, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain, one brave individual. What do you think, Axel? You there, Axel?
Yeah, maybe similar to what Owen does in Jurassic World, maybe similar to maybe study dinosaur behaviors, because that would be so interesting to me, because I always want to know more about dinosaurs. I want to know more about all the different species, or maybe I will work as a security boss. Being in charge of the security of the park, because I want also the entire park to be safe. I want there to be a high level of security of the park, and I also want all the guests to feel not to be afraid, but to feel comfortable and also feel secure being at Jurassic World, and also be able to keep an eye on things, and also kind of like being in charge for a few things. So that would be cool in my opinion.
Good job, Axel. Those are all great jobs. So now we're going to talk about a sequel. What would we think about a sequel? What do we think would be going on? For me, I did a sequel video a while back. I am planning on doing another one, but I definitely see the island still intact, and maybe people going back to make sure to security the island or something like that. I'm not the filmmakers. I'm not as talented as the filmmakers, but I really I leave it in their hands. But I would love to see a sequel. First of all, I do think that we're going to be getting a sequel. I would absolutely adore a sequel. But as far as what they would be doing, I don't think that there will be another genetically altered dinosaur. There possibly could be, but I don't think that there will be. And I just really leave the Jurassic World franchise in Colin's hands, and I trust them entirely with what they want to do. And real quick, we have one more person that's joined. We have JP Carnator, if you want to say hi.
Hey, what's up?
And real quick, JP Carnator, what job would you have at Jurassic World and why?
Probably the game warden, because in all films, when there's a game warden or a hunter or something, they're usually the most badass characters. I'd like to be one of those guys.
Okay, cool stuff. So, Haza, what do you think about a sequel?
Okay, my thoughts on a sequel would probably be that I hope that they do make a sequel, because it's most likely that Jurassic World will get a lot of money. I hope like over $1 billion in domestic, not domestic, in worldwide grossing. So the idea for a sequel is open. What happened to Godzilla? I mean, it got a sequel, so I'm interested to see that Jurassic World can get a sequel too. I'm just interested to see where they can take the story, though. Like, will they make another park, or will they be breeding dinosaurs as bioweapons or something ridiculous? But yeah, I'm always open to a sequel idea.
Ellis?
Probably if I were to make... Well, obviously the sequel will happen if it makes a lot, and I mean a lot of money at the box office. I hope it does happen. If I were to make it, I'd like it to be at Isla Sorna. I know it sounds crazy because we've had so many films there already, but I do actually kind of like Isla Sorna, the fact that there aren't any cages and that they're roaming free. But if it was to be on Isla Nublar, I'd want to make a film about the restricted area, or the where the original park was, like the original sets, and I'd probably bring back one or two of the original characters. Probably Lex or Tim would be cool to see them come back, because I think they're the only people that haven't come back in sequel films. So yeah, that's probably my whole opinion on a Jurassic World sequel.
What do you think, Wesley?
He's gonna have to pull out some tricks to make it interesting. Talking about Colin Trevorrow, because it's hard to keep something and rehashing something happening again and again. So I think it'd be really cool to see a sequel, and I would be so down to see it. But I'd be a little bit nervous, just a little bit. But I do trust that he's, going to take the franchise in good places. But it would be good if they probably went towards Isla Sorna instead of keeping it on here, unless they had a really good story plan from the get-go. Unless he's already written it out and he's already got a whole plan for every 1 through 3. If that's what he's going to call it, like a new reboot. But I'll be down to see it. I think it'd be a good idea.
Sean?
I personally don't think Jurassic World needs a sequel. From what I can see, I mean, they're in a park that is designed to function correctly, and something still goes wrong. I don't know where they could go with it. I mean, if they go to Isla Sorna or dinosaurs go to the mainland, it's just going to be a continuation of the same thing. It ended up being like Spider-Man. I think they've done 5 of those movies, but I think Jurassic World could end here. I don't want it to, but I think it's going to.
Jurassic World, what do you think?
Alright, we'll have a lot of thoughts. Is that alright?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Jurassic World, there's obviously, well, what I've heard, there's going to be 2 sequels. It's going to be another trilogy. What I want to see, I want it to be a new location. They could use any of the five Death Islands, Los Cinco Muertes,
they could use Los Mataceros, Isla Muerta, Isla Pena, and there's Isla Sorna, and then Isla Nublar. But they can use the other 3 islands that they haven't gone to yet. Or since it's called Jurassic World, they could just have the one island, or they could possibly have other locations for other Jurassic Worlds, like Jurassic World Japan or Jurassic World Africa or something like that. So they could have like other parks over there. I either want the same cast returning if any of them don't die, like Bryce Dallas Howard if she dies or any of the main characters die, or they could have Tim and Lex like be the main characters in that one somewhere at a different park or something like that. I want dinosaurs back. I don't want any more hybrids because I think the Indominus is perfectly fine for one movie. I don't think they should add anything else hybrid-wise. And finally, I just want them to have a good story for these sequels. I want them to be planned out and maybe wait 3 years like the originals did. The original 3, they were 3 years, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so 3 or 4 years, 1993, 1997, well, a couple years later, but yeah, I want it to be a good story, so yeah.
What do you think, Captain?
Well, I really do want a sequel. I think the producer said that there are plans for 2 other sequels. Really, what I really want to see is after the islands, everything after it's failed. I kind of want to see what the opinion is back on the mainland. Really, like the government's making a decision over what should happen, and hopefully then see that sending in a clean-up operation, kind of like Jurassic Park 2, but more of a military thing, and then seeing how the military deal with the dinosaurs once they're there.
Yes, and Jurassic Park and The Lost World were 4 years apart. So, Axel, what do you think?
I would love to see a sequel after Jurassic World for a couple of reasons. I know one of the reasons is because Jurassic Park movies have been extinct, almost like the dinosaurs themselves, for many, many years. So for almost 14 years after Jurassic Park 3. And also, like you said, Jurassic World, Colin Trevorrow has, I think he plans for a second trilogy of Jurassic Park, and also, but I do want good script for a new movie, and also I also believe Colin said this in an interview, sorry, but all the movies shouldn't be a group of people struggle to survive a dinosaur attack. That's not really what Jurassic Park, well, Jurassic Park shouldn't be just about that kind of stuff, because yeah, like I said again, there should be a good script if there's a sequel, and I think there will be a sequel, and definitely will be a sequel if Jurassic World makes a lot of money in the theaters after it's being released.
What do you think, JP Carnator?
I think we should get a prequel of maybe them all the challenges. Something like that would be pretty cool. It doesn't really make sense to make this another park after Jurassic World fell. I don't think anybody would want to go to another park filled with dinosaurs.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So for our next question, we have, what do we think the most important part of the Jurassic World story is, or any story for that matter? And for me, it's definitely easy. It's the characters. I mean, the characters are the most important thing. If you have great effects and really good, like a script, if you don't have the characters to read the script or the actors to read the script, it's going to fail. Like Transformers, the first one, yes, it has great effects, but the characters are weak, which means that the story is overall a little bit weak. There's a ton of other examples with movies with great effects but weak characters. I think if you have more or less interesting story but still great characters, it's not going to be a great movie, but it's totally not going to destroy the movie. But even if you have big action set pieces going on and a fantastic script, if the characters are weak, you're not going to care about them. It's just going to be flashy things in front of your face. You're not going to feel invested into any of it. So for me, definitely the characters are the most important part. The dinosaurs are awesome, and the dinosaurs are definitely the thing that I am most excited to see. But without the characters, everything would fall apart. It wouldn't be as interesting without great characters. It wouldn't grasp you as well as if there weren't good characters. So for me, definitely the characters are the most important thing. What do you think, Ellis?
Well, funnily enough, I have the same opinion as you. I think one of the first conversations me and you ever had was we were discussing what makes Jurassic Park good, and it was definitely they make the characters matter probably more than the dinosaurs do to the film. The characters basically build the film to what makes it good. Like the first film, it was the kids trying to make friends with the adult. There was more human storyline than there was dinosaur storyline, which is what monster movies these days really need. They need to concentrate more on the characters than the special effects, and yeah, that's a really good opinion, by the way, Stupendous.
Oh, thank you. What do you think, Haza?
Yeah, I 100% agree with both of you. The most important thing I think as well is the characters and the fact that they need to feel believable and likable to the audience as well. I also think the actual storytelling aspect and the dialogue is very important. I really want the story in Jurassic World to pull me through as effectively as the first film did. It needs to feel believable, and a recent interview with David Koepp, who was the screenwriter for the first Jurassic Park along with Michael Crichton, and the second movie, Lost World, he was talking about the Jurassic World concept scripts, and how he read some of them, and he said that they were fantastic. And it's just interesting that I think that it was script and the actual storytelling element, along with the characters, that make Jurassic Park a very effective genre and movie.
Wesley, what do you think?
All of you guys pretty much, hit the nail on the head there. All of you had a perfect point, and you're right, because it all starts with characters. As a kid watching that movie, and I watched the movie, obviously I watched it for the dinosaurs, and I was curious about the, adult parts, but when you get older and you watch movies and you watch them again and again, you get more to like the parts that were the boring parts, which are the adult parts, which are the characters, and that's what really drives it, and it's really relatable to some extent whenever the characters are realistic and like real worldish, and that's one thing I hope that he can do. So you can I hope this is a movie that you can keep watching again and again, especially the way it's edited, and timing wise. Something you can watch again and again and not get sick and tired of watching. So pretty much everything you guys said was true, and it does take characters to make a movie, likable, and it drives the storyline. And that's about it.
Sean, what do you think?
Well, the reason I think Colin Trevorrow got this job is because he was so good at character development. So obviously the studio sees that being an integral part of the story. You have to have good characters to have a good story. The way that we got character synopsises now, Chris Pratt being a behavior researcher with the Raptors, you read that and you're like, well, that seems far-fetched. But as we watch the movie, I'm sure it'll all come together. Bryce Dallas Howard as being like a lead biotech, I believe, what she's going to do and her backstory and helping Jurassic World come together. It means a lot to be able to tell how we got to here. I mean, I want to know why this company decided to purchase InGen and try again and build another Jurassic World. To me, maybe a little like pre-story will set it up for us great. Dinosaurs are a very integral part to the story to me, and plot. I want this movie to be perfect. No movie ever is, but to me, Jurassic Park, good or bad, will be fantastic. And yeah, plot, characters like you guys said, and dinosaurs for me.
Jurassic World?
Yeah, obviously the characters need to be the number one most important thing in the story, in my opinion, as well. Along with that, I hope the Indominus has a really good role in the story and has a good way of it being introduced into the story. So yeah, basically what you guys said.
Well, Captain dropped out for a second. We're trying to get him back. Axel, what do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with most of what you guys said. The characters are the most important thing in a movie to be good. Both human characters, dinosaur characters, and also the dinosaurs as well, and also good story, and not to just kind of like flying into just don't shoehorn in random story. The story needs to be good, and also, yeah, it needs a good reason to be told again for another sequel. And also, that's that's obviously basically the point of Colin Trevorrow now being the director of Jurassic World.
JP Carnosaur?
I think that the movie mostly needs good characters, like you guys said, a good story, and probably most important, good CGI with the dinosaurs, because if the dinosaurs don't look real, then I don't really think it's going to be as great as Jurassic Park movie. But so far, through the trailers that we've seen, they look decent enough, and I'm happy with how they are, so I just hope that everything keeps getting better from here.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, how would we make a video game? So, there's a Lego game going around. It's excuse me, it hasn't been released yet, but it's been announced, and it's going to be really cool. So, how would we make a game? How would we like a game? Now, I'm going to admit, I'm not the biggest gamer in the world. I don't play a whole lot of video games. It's not really, I enjoy video games, but it's not really a big passion of mine. I definitely understand where it comes from, but I'm really not the perfect person to ask about this. But if I had to choose any game, I think a shooter where you would actually, first-person shooter going and hunting dinosaurs would be cool, with an alternate mode where you could be the dinosaur and hunt people that are shooting at you. I think that would open up a ton of avenues for, like, different online gameplay. I think that would be really cool to be online and be like, okay, so you're a Spinosaurus and I have an M4. You come chase me and we're just going to have a good time. And I think that would be really, really cool. But other than that, I think the Lego game's going to be cool. I'm not sure if you're going to be playing as the actual dinosaurs. I think it would be cheap if you didn't play as the dinosaurs. But for me, definitely a shooter game would definitely be fun. What do you think, Ellis?
The Jurassic World Lego game is obviously going to be really cool. And what you said about playing as the dinosaurs, well, the Lego games, there is like thousands of selections of characters in the game, so I guess you'd have to be dinosaurs as well. And one of the games, probably a Jurassic World Telltale game, because the Jurassic Park Telltale game was actually really good and I loved playing it. And I'm going to be surprised if no one says this, really surprised. Jurassic World Operation Genesis, because the first game wasn't just like the best game I've ever played, it was actually the first game I ever had on a PC, and it was awesome. The first time I played it, I didn't really understand it. As I got older, I got used to it, and then I broke it, and I hadn't been able to replace it since, because obviously they cost a lot of money and they're quite rare these days. But that game was the best game ever, and to convert that with the graphics you have nowadays and the Jurassic World, it would just be so awesome to see that game.
Haza?
Yeah. Stupendous, I think what you were trying to create in your idea for a dinosaur game is similar to the game Primal Carnage, which is a game about you can be a person or a dinosaur attacking each other. But anyway, yeah, I 100% agree about the idea of making a new Jurassic Park Operation Genesis game. That would just be amazing, considering how good Jurassic Park Operation Genesis is. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I've played it for a number of years. I think when I was like 12 or something, I was playing it, or something ridiculous. I've been playing it for a long time. And if they made an updated game where they could just add so much stuff, and with the new graphics, that would just be amazing, absolutely amazing. Also, there's another possibility. If they make a game, they could make a Jurassic World game kind of like the old style Jurassic Park Trespasser game, which was one of the first Jurassic Park games. It was a survival first-person shooter where you had to survive and fight your way through Isla Sorna with all the dinosaurs on the island. And yeah, if they remade a game similar to that with the graphics we have nowadays and a good story, that would just be amazing.
Wesley?
Yeah, I don't really play games that much, but one pet I had when I was really young, I didn't like how cheap they went out. Like, it would be like this brand new movie, and then a game would come out afterwards, and then it would be, it wouldn't be fun. But I feel like the idea if they had a Jurassic World Grand Theft Auto style thing where you start out as Owen, you have to earn the Raptors' trust, and you have a whole map to go through. You can go to Isla Nublar, Sorna, and then all the other islands. And you know, just like Grand Theft Auto, you can jump on to get jet skis, skip over to each island. You can drown. You know, there could be codes to get weapons and stuff like that. And you got to kind of, you know, it'd be like raptor tracking, where you have to track down your own raptors, and you have to track down certain dinosaurs, and just, you know, whatever stories that had linked to it. I think that'd be a pretty cool idea.
That sounds really fun, actually. Sean?
I'm a gamer. I love playing video games. I have every system. I've played Trespasser. I remember, I think I had like Windows 98 when I was playing that, and that was like way back. But I'm 28. I played Jurassic Park for Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, which, if anybody's ever played the Jurassic Park game for Super Nintendo, it was probably the hardest game I've ever played. I still haven't beat it to this day. It's a third-person overhead. Walk around, you collect all the raptor eggs, and when you go inside buildings, it's a first-person shooter with raptors and Dilophosaurus. You gotta turn the power back on and escape the island. That game is fantastic. If there is a Lego Jurassic World game coming out, I'm gonna go and pre-order it today, because I've played all the Lego games and I love them. They're so deep. They're so much more than just Legos. There's like over 250 missions per game. Like someone said before, there's tons of characters. I mean, I played the Marvel one, and you have everybody from Howard the Duck to, you know, Iron Man, to people that you don't even heard of that are D-list characters. So the chance of playing a Jurassic World and going around and playing that game on Xbox One or Nintendo Wii on Legos, I think that's their best route to make money off of video games. But yeah, Jurassic World Legos, yeah. Hell yeah.
Jurassic World.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everybody. There is going to be a Lego game and an arcade game, but really, who the arcades anymore? We have mobile games now, so I'm pretty sure there's going to be another game for PC and consoles, and I'm hoping it's like an open world survival Far Cry game, because Far Cry is really fun, and just to add dinosaurs to that would be just amazing, to go to different islands, like Wesley said, that'd be awesome, or like a GTA game like Wesley said, that'd be awesome as well, so yeah.
What do you think, JP Carnotaur?
I'd love to see a game sort of like Zoo Tycoon 2 or Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. Sorry guys, because I just love playing those games. I like open, like sandbox type games, like if they did like a Far Cry, Jurassic World, like Jurassic World said, I'd be really happy with that. And I'm a gamer; I play Xbox One all the time, so if we get a bunch of new games for that, that'll be all I ever play.
Axel?
Yeah, I agree to most of what you guys said. I completely agree with both you, Stupendous, and you, Haza, as well. I would love to see like a Primal Carnage like Jurassic World game. That would be awesome. Excuse me. I'd love to see a Jurassic World game where you could both play as both dinosaurs and humans, accomplishing tons of different missions. That would be awesome. Like, also you could both control many different kinds of characters and also doing a lot of different things, also going to many kinds of different environments, like for example, not just the only walk game, maybe for example in the main street of a Jurassic World in the game, but also being the T-Rex and walking its own Rex Kingdom in the game. That would be awesome. And also maybe being able to play as a human being, maybe from hunting dinosaurs to maybe something even as simple as solving a problem in the security office monitors.
Yeah, good thoughts. So for this next one, we're going to be talking about what are we most worried about, excuse me, for Jurassic World. Now, this is treading on some dangerous ground because I just want to make it very, very clear that I am 100% sure that every person in this podcast right now thinks that Jurassic World will be a good movie. And when we're concerned about something, it doesn't mean that we absolutely hate it. It just means that we're maybe a little bit not worried about it, but a little bit, like it frightens us just a little bit, and we're not exactly sure about a certain idea. It by no means says that we hate it and that anything's wrong with it. These are just things that might be a little bit worrisome. We all think that it's going to be a great movie. It's just things that we might be a little bit apprehensive about at first. And I just want to make that clear before we get into this next topic so people don't take it the wrong way thinking that all of us are just upset over something. They're just things that could potentially go wrong, not things that we think will go wrong or might go. They're things that might go wrong, potentially go wrong. By no means are we saying that we hate any of these things. So for me, the thing that I'm probably the most apprehensive about is, of course, the mixed DNA dinosaur and the kid actors. Now, Ty Simpkins has proven that he can act. He was in Iron Man 3. I'm not exactly sure what the other guy was in, Zach's character, but I mean the actor that plays Zach. But I know that kid actors are kind of like the kiss of death to certain movies because kid actors are they're not as experienced as regular actors, and that's understandable. They're kids, but that's something that can really ruin a film very easily. And then, of course, the genetically altered hybrid, which I think is going to be great. I think the Indominus is totally going to kill it, but it's still something that has the potential to go wrong if it goes way too over the top. So that's just what I think. What do you think, Ellis?
Well, there's only one fault so far that I'm worried about that probably won't worry everyone else, but it's the amount of guns that are going to be in the film. Because what made the other Jurassic Parks good was because there weren't any guns, and it was the suspense that you had no weapons and you had to survive alone in the wild with these huge dinosaurs chasing you, and you have no way of weapons to fight back. And obviously Jurassic World's going to have security, it's going to have guns, it's going to have weapons against the dinosaurs. So I'm really worried about how much guns we're going to see in the film, because we don't want to see the dinosaurs backing down. We want to see people being scared and them being out of control.
Haza?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about this, and honestly, the most thing I'm worried about is the story and whether it's going to be, and basically, I'm just worried about what the story's going to be like and whether it's a good story, one that's believable. The dinosaurs and effects don't bother me at all. Maybe I'm a bit worried about the kid actors, as you said, because overall we don't want the movie to be bad. As true Jurassic Park fans, we are a bit scared of this movie. I mean, surely everyone has to be slightly nervous about the new movie, because we don't want it to be a bad movie, and we hope and pray that it won't be a bad movie, because we know it's in good hands with Colin. He knows what he's doing. But yeah.
Wesley?
I'm not too worried about too much stuff, except for just little slight things that I've seen. I don't want too much CGI, basically. I like the fact of the puppets and what they can do with them. And there was something I did see in the leaked footage, and I know it won't finish. I know it won't finish by no means, but I don't want the saturation to be too fake in the background. Like there was a gyrosphere scene where the two kids saw T-Rex, or they were in the T-Rex paddock or wherever, but it looked very bright in the background, almost too campy bright. And that's not a word, too much for it, because it won't finish. I don't know, but other than that, I can't see nothing else that storyline wise I think will be good. And the actors, they're gonna do their part, and maybe they're gonna make it to where the guns are not so accessible. You know, maybe it all depends on the situation they fall underneath. So, other than everything else, I think everything else is gonna be pretty good.
Sean?
The number one I'm concerned about, and this is a double-edged sword, is the leaks. I've never followed a movie so extensive and pretty much been given almost everything months, almost a year out. This movie has had so many leaks come out of it that I'm worried that I'm not gonna know. I'm gonna know everything before I go and see it, which isn't too bad. I'm gonna go see it anyway. But there's just a lot of leaks that have coming out. I mean, commercials, the trailer, the IREX, and it's a little bit bothersome. But I also, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for any of that. And just like Wesley said, some of the CGI, I know Collins, there's a question on Twitter. Someone asked him about the gate. They said, why is the gate CGI? And he said, well, in the final film, the gate will be practical, but because we leaked it, we had to put CGI in there. I mean, it looks really good. I mean, if anybody watched Godzilla, or that whole thing was CGI, and it looked absolutely beautiful. The movie's not done yet, so we can't really argue about that. But another thing would be running time. I hope the movie is at least 2.5 to 3 hours long. It just seems like there's a lot going on in the movie. I mean, if we're gonna clean up Isla Nublar a little bit in the beginning, and then have people showing that they're going to Jurassic World, and then people dropping off, and then them creating the D-Rex, and then maybe them going to the restricted area, and all the situations in between. It just seems like a lot to be going on in 90 minutes, like Jurassic Park 3 was.
Yeah, definitely. The IREX creation and the IREX problem and everything else that you mentioned, that's a whole lot to be going on in a runtime, which we don't know. We don't know if it's going to be an hour and a half. I would assume that it would be more around the 2 hour, 2.5 hour point. But yeah, there's still a whole lot to fit into one movie. What do you think, Jurassic World?
I'm just a bit worried with the Indominus. I'm just hoping the Indominus doesn't take up the spotlight from other dinosaurs. I hope that, they have Owen in one side with his raptors, Bryce Dallas Howard somewhere else with the T-Rex or the Indominus or something, and then Ty Simpkins and Nick Robinson in the restricted part with the old Velociraptors and Dilophosaurus and things like that. I just don't want them to mainly focus on the Indominus because they have so many other dinosaurs to work with and so many other things that we want to see. And also, I don't want them to have multiple hybrids in the film. Like at the end, I don't want the Arlex to be there. I don't want any more hybrids again. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Axel? Are you there, Axel?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I have to unmute my mic. Yeah, I'm here. And I agree completely to most of you. I agree to what of the majority of what you guys have been saying. Also, one of the few things I also worry about Jurassic World. Two things is I also don't even want to see too much of the Indominus Rex, because also, like you guys said, there are so many different dinosaur species. I think the movie need to give them a fair focus in the screen time. I also don't want to see too much CGI either. I want to feel more nostalgia from the older movies with more animatronics. And another thing is I also maybe what I'm most worried about Jurassic World is if the T-Rex will die. I don't want to see my favorite dinosaurs of all time die. I love the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. This Rex was the first. I think it was the first T-Rex I ever saw, and I don't want to see her go away in this movie. She was probably what inspired me to love dinosaurs and Jurassic Park, and to learn so much about these amazing creatures, and also she being such an awesome and fantastic creature. I don't want to see her die, and
Yeah, definitely. What do you think, JP Carnotaur?
Thing I'm most worried about is the deaths. I'd like them to follow the same rules as Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3 followed, that no kids would die, no women would die, and the deaths would be covered up, because I kind of don't really want to see, like, the Morphodons ripping, like, a little kid apart. Like, something like that could ruin a movie for me. I mean, I have nothing against really, like, seeing some blood and gore, but I don't want it to be so crazy and so graphic that it just ruins the entire movie. And the other thing that I'm worried about is the Arlex. Even though it's not confirmed to be in the movie, I'm still worried that if it is, the gorilla DNA will really throw a lot of people off, and nobody's really going to enjoy it. And if the sequel's mostly based off of that, I'm not going to be too happy about it.
Ellis, you have something to add?
But yeah, what Jurassic World said about the Indominus Rex getting too much screen time, I can kind of compare what I want to happen to it in I know it sounds ridiculous, but Ice Age 3. Through that film, the T-Rex, obviously it won't be the T-Rex in this film because it's you know, it's a big guy, but the white dinosaur in Ice Age 3, Dawn of the Dinosaurs, it wasn't shown too much, but there was kind of a build-up that he was coming and he was searching for them, and then at the end there was the big fight and the grand finale, and the character comes on, so that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, good stuff, guys. So next we're going to talk about the Indominus Rex abilities, what we think about it essentially having some superpowers almost. Not really superpowers, actually, more like a natural abilities, but they've got a whole lot compared to other dinosaurs. So it's got T-Rex, Velociraptor, Cuttlefish, and Death Adder. Those are the confirmed ones. There's also some rumored things that there might be human DNA. Super, super, super small chance that there will be, but it still is a possibility. Don't think that there will be, but still a possibility. So we know that it's extremely intelligent from the trailer. We know it can camouflage itself. The venomous bite is still not confirmed yet, but it's still probably likely. So these are all really interesting. Again, there's ridges on the back, which is interesting because only the cuttlefish seems to have some ridges, and they don't seem to be as prominent as they are seen on the Indominus Rex. So that's really interesting. I'll be interested to know why it has ridges or spikes all over it. The red eye, I'm not sure where it gets the red eye from, but yeah, it definitely has a lot of abilities. It's extremely fast. I assume it's really fast because it has that Velociraptor DNA, and it definitely runs like a Velociraptor does from what we've seen in the trailer. No long claw. I actually like that because it would have been a little bit overdone. It does have a dew claw, although the dew claw is nowhere near as long as a long claw would be. It is still a little bit longer than the T-Rex claw. But I think that's about it for the abilities of the I-Rex. I don't think that it has any other abilities I know someone on IGN actually said that it might fly, which I highly, highly doubt. If that thing flies, that just is a little bit crazy to me. But the abilities that it has now that we pretty much know about, we know it can camouflage itself, it's smart, and a possible venomous bite. I'm completely satisfied with all of those. That makes it an incredibly dangerous dinosaur on its own right now, and I don't think that it needs any more. If there are others, I'm fine with them. I'm open to it, but I just hope it's not completely overdone. What do you think, Ellis?
2 points I need to make here. The spikes, I really hope that they are useful. I really hope that he's going to use them to really like gnaw his way into some dinosaur skin in a fight. That would be really cool. But the other thing is his abilities, as you basically just said. Don't give him too many abilities, because as Superman and Batman in Batman v Superman, right? Superman's going to be too overpowered for him, and that's what I think is going to happen with the Indominus Rex. He's going to have so many abilities, he's going to be too overpowering for the other dinosaurs that he is going to come across in the films. That's yeah, and all the other abilities that he has, I'm really excited for. I really hope that they are going to confirm that venomous/poisonous bite, because that would be so cool to use. Didn't the T-Rex have poisonous teeth as well, something, after what you'd eaten or something?
I don't think the T-Rex has ever had a poisonous bite.
No, you know, I mean, like, what are they called? The lizards?
Troodons?
Komodo dragon.
Oh.
The Komodo dragon has, like, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, move on. Okay, sorry.
What do you think, Haza?
Yeah, we've discussed the Indominus Rex abilities many times before in other discussions. The fact that it has skin that skin is able to camouflage itself. That's got a possible poisonous bite. Although I still maintain the possibility and probability that it is an occasional quadruped from the leaked photos. It's with its long arms. Its arms look like they're long enough to enable it to walk on all fours and get down closer to the ground. Do its raptor genes enable it to jump slightly and enable its maneuverability to enable it to jump? I don't know if the detachable jaw is going to a detachable jaw is going to be likely. I don't mind the idea of it having possible human DNA inside. I think that's actually something that's a bit controversial, but I actually don't mind. But the thing I'm interested to know is that if it's going to put up a decent fight, or if the T-Rex is going to put up a decent fight against the Indominus at the end of the movie, the Indominus surely has some sort of weakness, I would think, because, I mean, every dinosaur has its weak spots, so I'm interested to see if the Indominus has a particularly bad weak spot, like, I don't know, like a weak backbone or something, but anyway, that's just pushing it. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
Wesley?
Yeah, I thought about this, and I thought about how it's got, you know, raptor genes and snake genes and, you know, the cuttlefish genes. I'm wondering how it's going to swim due to the fact that it has the, you know, cuttlefish genes, and the fact that snakes can, like, get into tight places, really tight places, like they can, like, crunch their body up and, you know, from half their size. And also, can it call other raptors? Because it has that ability to, you know, it's got the raptor genes in it too, and, you know, raptors can call for help. I'm really curious to see what abilities they might just touch on that are not told to us yet, in certain situations in the movie. I'm not too keen on the whole human DNA. Not just yet. I don't know. It all depends on whose human DNA they use. but yeah.
Sean, I know you have to go after this question, so thanks for being in it first off, and what do you think?
Well, the I-Rex, you know, it's a great idea. I love the DNA splicing that they did. At first, when I heard about it, I thought, you know, that's kind of weird. But then once I really started looking into it, and I thought, you know what, that's that could happen. The T-Rex for the size, I think it's just going to be a giant. The Raptor for the stealthness, and I definitely think it could get down on all fours and ambush, maybe hide, camouflage, and then spring up and see. I also think those little quills that you can see coming out of his elbow area, maybe like you guys said, that he could squeeze into places if his quills on his arm don't get touched, like a cat with their whiskers. I definitely think the Irex won't have a venomous bite. I mean, if that thing's gonna go and bite you, you're gonna get killed regardless. Maybe for slowing down bigger prey like the T-Rex. I think the snake DNA mainly is for maybe a heat vision. Snakes can see from heat, so maybe it can track down its prey like that from longer range. The cuttlefish, yeah, for the camp. I hope it doesn't go invisible, it's like some kind of space age technology. I hope it just can kind of blend in just like a normal lizard. If it's on a leaf, it turns green. If it's on a piece of wood, it turns brown. But yeah, once again, I want to thank you, Stupendous Wave, for letting me come on here. I'm sorry I got to leave, and it's been fun discussing Jurassic World with you.
Okay, have a good day, dude.
Yep.
What do you think, Jurassic World?
Alright, so I basically kept a log on this on all four creatures that it's mixed with. So, as we know, it's mixed with a T-Rex, a Velociraptor, Death Adder Snake, and Cuttlefish. So, the T-Rex, it has the jaw power, the great eyesight in real life, but in Jurassic Park, it has to see something move to get its attention. It also has the Velociraptor, which has speed, stalking ability, intelligence, and it's possibly a quadruped, like Haza said. It has 4 claws, and it's most likely has a mixed roar with the T-Rex and Velociraptor. And it has large arms, as we've seen from the trailer and the leaked images. For the Death Adder Snake, they mostly live in forest, and what I've heard is that the Indominus will chase after Ty and Nick in the forest in the restricted area of the park, so that may be part in the film. It also has possibly detachable jaws. The lower jaws of the snake, they detach, and which basically means they break apart to engulf bigger prey. Also, the Death Adder Snake is highly venomous. It causes paralysis or death, so it might be poisonous. We don't know yet. And then we have the Cuttlefish. So the Cuttlefish, it can camouflage instantaneously, which means really fast. It can just camouflage into anything. The Cuttlefish may be poisonous as well from the spikes, most likely. So the spikes on the Indominus may mean it's poisonous in some areas. The Cuttlefish is also colorblind, so even though it's colorblind, it can still blend into its surroundings and things like that, and that's pretty cool. And also, it may possibly have infrared sight, like they were talking about earlier, so it may be able to see things a lot easier. And this dinosaur just seems like it's going to be a really deadly one. It could kill pretty much any dinosaur it comes across, which is kind of scary to me, because I don't want it to be like the superhero dinosaur thing.
Axel?
Well, except for, like you guys said, we know that the Indominus Rex has the DNA splice with T-Rex, Velociraptor, Death Adder Snake, and also Cuttlefish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And with the Cuttlefish, it's very likely that it has the ability to camouflage itself into its environments, which around it. But other than that, I'm gonna be honest now. I say I don't really know at the moment because I don't really know what to say else, really.
Okay, so our next topic is, what do we think about the Raptor designs that we've seen so far? Now, to me, I love them. I think the color looks great. I think it's cool to give them all a different color. Now, what I'm really excited about is in the toys we see a black raptor, and there's also a rumored wild raptor pack that's in the area of the old park. Now, what I think would be cool is to have a couple black raptors. I think black raptors would be so cool. The thought of having like a black raptor hunt down Owen's raptors or them fight each other is just amazing. But as far as the confirmed designs of the Velociraptors, I love the design of all of Owen's raptors. Like I said, Echo's my favorite. She looks the most like the ones from the first movie, which are my favorite raptors too, although the other two movies have great raptors as well. But I really do love the raptors from the first movie, and I'm really happy with the raptors in this movie. The raptors from the first movie will most likely be my favorite after this, but I think that this will still be a close second. What do you think, Ellis?
Basically, before I start, can I just say what I was talking about with the T-Rex? It had bacterial infected bites from the rotten meat it had eaten. But about the Velociraptors, I really like their designs. I like the similarities to the original Raptors because it started to change from the Lost World to Jurassic Park 3. The designs were very different. And I like the colour schemes, that they've all got a different colour. I think Blue, just by the look of him, he seems to be like the major of the pack, like the big guy in the group. But yeah, I really like the way they're going with these similarities to the original looking Raptors. Yeah, that's it, really. They look really cool.
Haza?
Yeah, I've got no problems with the raptor designs. They look absolutely amazing. They look exactly how I wanted them to look like. Very happy that they're going to be using animatronics. Very, very excited to see what they're going to do in the film. We know what's going to be expected of them. We've seen what they can do in the previous movies, and we know that they're capable of doing amazing things. So yeah, really excited.
Wesley?
Oh yeah, I love the Raptors. They're looking, every time I look at them, they look cooler and cooler. I mean, it's starting to really feel like they're going to be the heroes. But I'm starting to see like a theme here, like because the first Jurassic Park, the theme was like red with the Jeeps on the Jeeps and stuff. The color was like, the main theme was red. And with this one, the whole, you know, with the marine idea and the blue logo and all that stuff, everything's starting to look more blue tonish. And that's why I think they're putting Blue as the main guy, because he's got that blue, you know, stripe on his eye going down his neck. And that's just something I noticed. But other than that, I don't have no problem with the Raptors, and I'm really curious to see how, if they do fight with the bad part of the Raptors, I want to see how that plays out, how, you know, how that looks.
Okay, what do you think, Jurassic World?
Yeah, Blue is actually the main raptor. It's Chris Pratt's favorite raptor, so that's the answer for that. But I like the raptor designs a lot. They're like a mix of the original Raptors and the Lost World Raptors, but with greenish and blue color schemes, which I'm really all for. I like those colors on these Raptors. And as for Owen's Raptors, they may have different personalities. Like, each of the four may have different personalities. Maybe Blue is like the loyal type, the leader of, well, not the leader, but like he's like the second commando or something like that. And you could have like one of the Raptors be like one of the less smart than most of the other ones or something like that. And the old Raptors, they're possibly the same as the original, or just with different color schemes. But yeah, I like the Raptors so far, and I think they may be my favorite out of all of them, actually.
Axel?
Yeah, I think the Raptor design in all the Jurassic Park movies are perfect, except for I like the designs in Jurassic Park 3 less, but I think they're good, but I do... Overall, I think just the sculpt of the Raptors are perfect. That's... I think also this kind of a design for the Raptors, just like I mentioned earlier, made them they're very famous and very iconic after Jurassic Park, and also like you guys said, I also love the designs of all the Raptors in OS Raptor Pack. Blue's my favorite so far because both I like his name, blue is my favorite color, and I also love the color scheme. because we haven't really seen this kind of color scheme yet on a Velociraptor before in Jurassic Park, and I love this kind of color scheme. It looks fantastic, and also I love it, all the other raptors too, and yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say.
JP Carnator?
I personally, I love the Raptors. I love the new designs that they did. I'm so happy that they finally did blue and green color schemes. So far, my favorite Raptors are Blue and Echo, just because I think they stand out the most out of all of them. And I just love the way that Colin had the Raptors done, and they just look awesome.
Yeah, totally agreed. They look completely amazing. So our next question is, what do we think of the T-Rex design? Now let's go over this one fairly quick. Let's just say whether we like it or not, but because it's not really a super interesting one. I love the T-Rex design. It's the T-Rex from the first movie. I love the addition of the scars on her side from the raptor battle, and I have no worries. Ellis?
Again, I love the scars. I love the fact that it's the original T-Rex. But the only problem I have with it is I'd probably make it a shade darker because it looked very darker in the original.
Haza?
Yeah, 100% agree. The T-Rex design is amazing. I wonder if they're actually going to use the same animatronic from Jurassic Park, or whether they're going to create a new animatronic for the actual, for the new film. This is a bit off topic here, but I'm really interested to see, know the female Rex's backstory and how she survived on Isla Nublar with the lysine contingency problem. It's kind of off topic, but I really want them to provide an explanation as to how, if there are surviving dinosaurs on Nublar in the old park, how did they survive without lysine? They did kind of provide some explanation in The Lost World, where they said that the herbivores got them from agma beans and soybeans and the trees that they ate, and that the carnivores simply ate them. But I'm interested to see, maybe they did somehow reverse the lysine contingency like they did in the non-canon Jurassic Park Telltale game. But if not, I really want them to provide an explanation as to how the dinosaurs have survived all this time.
Yes, Wesley, what do you think about the design of the T-Rex?
The T-Rex looks good, but I was thinking she looked a little bit skinny. I think they haven't been feeding her very good in Jurassic World when they caught her. She looks very, maybe it's just her legs or her thighs, or just her stance in general, but I remember her looking really beefy, especially when she was chasing down the Gallimimuses. And at the very last scene, I keep rewatching and comparing the two to each other, to the new pictures, and I'm finding that she's just a little bit smaller, and that could be an explanation for that I don't know about. But that's the only bugaboo I have with that. But other than that, she's great. I love the scars, and I love especially the eye. I know they got that eye right. It looks really good. But I do also hope, like Haza said, I hope they use the original practical effects puppet with her. That would be cool to bring her back from the actual original movie. So, but yeah.
Jurassic World?
Oh yeah, I'm so happy that they brought the original back. It's been so long since we've seen her, and now finally she's back. I like her design. It's basically the same, but yeah, it is a little bit skinnier than the original one, but that is concept images, so it may be a little bit bulkier in the final film, but yeah, I love her design, and I'm really happy to see her back.
Axel?
Yeah, I completely agree with you guys. I think, once again, that the T-Rex design in Jurassic Park is also perfect. Just the amazing looking T-Rexes in Jurassic Park, and also I can't wait to see the original Rex once again in another Jurassic Park movie. I think it's also amazing. They keep another dinosaur that we love and have seen before. And I also love the scars on her neck, reminding of the fight of the past with the Velociraptors in the first movie. I think it's a cool detail they added to the Rex, and also I'd also love to see the animatronics used from the same movie, but I don't think they will because I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that they actually destroyed the animatronic of the original T-Rex after Jurassic Park was finished shooting and so on. And also, I actually think that she will be skinny in the movie because, like you guys said, I think it's just from a certain point of angle or whatever. And also, like you said, Jurassic World, I also think it's just the illustrations or concept art of the Rex. I think she will look different in the movie. I think she will be more muscular or bulky or something like that.
JP Carnosaur?
I love the design of the new Rex. I love how they added the scars, and I'm extremely happy that they brought her back. And I don't think the concept art pictures do it justice. I really hope that we actually see it in the Super Bowl trailer coming up, just to see if we're right that the T-Rex does look bulkier, because I agree with you guys that it does look pretty skinny. But otherwise, I just love everything about adding the original T-Rex back.
Yeah, so for our next topic, it is what do we think about the Raptor names? Of course, they're Echo, Blue, Charlie, and Delta, which are, of course, military names. And I like the names. The names automatically give you kind of a connection towards the Raptors, because the closest to a name we've gotten of a Raptor before is the Big One. And that's not really a name, it's just kind of a descriptive thing that you would say about the Alpha in the first movie. But I love the idea of having names for the Raptors. If they're going to be Chris Pratt's Raptors and they're really going to play a big role and they're not really bad at first, they might go rogue later. But I have really no problems with the names, and I like the names. What do you think, Alice?
I don't even feel the need to talk about them. They are really epic names. Very unique. I really like them. That's it, really.
Haza?
Yeah, awesome that they have names. Maybe they're used to represent their personalities and the fact that maybe one is more aggressive or smarter than the other. Blue's considered the leader, as Jurassic World said. But considering Owen is an ex-military man, maybe he had an influence on these names. But yeah, I don't really have... that's pretty much my short opinion. And if Megastroke is watching this, I hope Charlie dies in the film.
What do you think, Wesley?
I actually really like the names. Colin Trevorrow was really smart for giving them names. It makes them more relatable, like a pet or a dog. It makes them more... I'd say it makes them more... I don't know. It's hard to explain. More loyal. It makes there's more of a kinship with them too. With the and I'm curious to see how they got the names. I really am. Hopefully, it was him that influenced and not the actual park. I know they're probably just nicknames, but I'd love to see where they came from. Maybe they are influenced from him when he was in the military, like they're his old buddies' names or something like that. But I really do like the names, and curious to see how it plays out.
Jurassic World?
Yeah, I love the names. I'm so glad they did give them names. It gives them more of a personality than the past Raptors, and it will make people care about them more than other Raptors. So, like, if any of them die, then that'll be really heart-stopping and really sad. And I do think Chris Pratt did have influence on him, because I think he's like the only one. He's the Raptor trainer. He looks after the Raptors, so I'm pretty sure he made the names for them, and I'm really glad they made names for them.
What do you think, Axel?
I completely agree with all of you guys once again. I love the idea that Colin Trevorrow give Raptors names, which, yeah, obviously Owen does in the movie, but I love the idea. I have no problems with that they do have names, because it's also, like you guys said, it gives them more personality than ever, and it also makes sense if Owen actually does train the Raptors in the movie. Like, for example, try to imagine if he would train all the Raptors at the same time, and he wanted one of the Raptors to perform like a specific style trick, he has to be able to call out one of the Raptors. That will make more sense.
Yeah, JP Carnosaur?
I love that the Raptors now have names, and I love that all the names that they've been given. So I'm just really happy that Colin decided to give them names, and it gives them more of a main character personality than an actual, just like a crazy, deadly dinosaur. So I just really like the concept if they added names for them.
Yes, so for our next question, it is, should we have Baryonyx and Suchomimus in the same movie? And if not, what should we replace it with? Now, the Baryonyx, the Suchomimus, and the Spinosaurus are all in the same family. They're fairly similar, except the Baryonyx is a lot smaller than both of the other two, and it is missing the sail, and the Suchomimus is also missing the sail. But there's been a lot of talk that's saying, why do we have these two dinosaurs that are so similar in the same movie? Why can't we have something else? Well, we do know that Baryonyx and Suchomimus were both on the InGen list of breeding, and that the Spinosaurus actually was not, and that it was bred by accident. So I think it makes total sense that it would be in the movie from a story standpoint. But from like a, should we have put both of these dinosaurs in the same movie, I really don't have a problem with it. I would have preferred probably a Carnotaurus over a Baryonyx, but as far as having both of these in there, I'm completely fine with it. I love both of them. What do you think, Ellis?
Yeah, they are really similar. I do love them both. I'm kind of still on the verge. I don't even know if they're going to be in the film. Because obviously, you know, in Jurassic Park, they never finished the trip, as it's been awfully said a lot on the internet. They never finished the trip, and there are probably still a lot of dinosaurs in there. I hope, and probably they will, both be in the film, but there's always a chance that they won't be. And if I were to replace them, I don't really know.
Oh, that's fine. Hazza?
Yeah. I think it's a good idea to bring in new dinosaurs. Bring in a Spinosaurid like Baryonyx or Suchomimus into the movie is a good idea. They're not very familiar to the general audience, so as I said, it's a good idea to bring in new dinosaurs. However, I do agree that maybe only one of them should have been in the movie instead of both of them. And maybe bring in another carnivore from a different family that not many people know about, like Coelophysis or Liliensternus or Orcosaurus. I mean, not many people know about those dinosaurs. And I hope that a lot of people don't confuse the Baryonyx and Suchomimus as the same dinosaur, or even as another Spinosaurus. That's like my thoughts.
Wesley?
Yeah, I'm the same as everybody else. I don't really mind if they're in there. I know they're very similar. They're not really, I wouldn't mind as long as it was mentioned, you know, one of them was mentioned, you know, and then one was shown. It don't matter which one is which to me, because I'm not really familiar with those dinosaurs. But if anything's possible if it's done correctly, like any other movie. But I think if they both had to be in the movie, it wouldn't affect me just as long as it didn't, you know, seem like too much clutter. So that's my opinion.
Jurassic World.
Am I happy that we have 2 new dinosaurs on the list? Yes. The one thing I'm not happy about is why they had 2 in the same family. Like, if they do have both of them, I'm pretty sure we won't even see them a lot. We may see them like once or twice, but we won't see them a lot. But they really didn't have to have both of them. They could have had one of them on the tablet thing, you know, that one interactive tablet the kids are playing on. They could have had like one of them on there just to show that it's in the park somewhere, or it's just one of the dinosaurs they were going to clone later or something like that. But I really don't think they had to have both of them in there, and they really could have took one out and added something new, like the Carnotaurus, like you said originally, or just some other dinosaur. There's so many of them, so they could have added really anything other than another species from the same family. So yeah.
Axel?
I don't have a problem with the 2 dinosaurs in the same family exist on the same list in the Jurassic World and are going to be the same movie, but I also think in general, I do love dinosaurs, and dinosaurs have obviously always been a big part of the Jurassic Park franchise, and I definitely think that all dinosaurs should deserve at least one chance. And if I would replace it, if these two dinosaur species, Suchomimus and Baryonyx, with just one species, or maybe I replace the Suchomimus with another species, then it will be Spinosaurus.
Oh, so you'd replace Suchomimus with Spinosaurus?
Yeah, or maybe Baryonyx and Suchomimus together. That was one question.
Yeah. What do you think, JP Carnosaur?
With there being these Spinosaurids, I mean, Baryonyx and Suchomimus are brand new, so I'm happy that we actually get them. The only thing is, like what you guys said, I think there's really no need for two of them, especially because they're basically the same dinosaur, just one's bigger than the other. I really, really, really want to see Carnotaur, and because it's my favorite dinosaur of all time. And I really hope that maybe they'll add it in the next one, or maybe in this one. I really think there was no need to have a Suchomimus. I think they should keep Baryonyx only because it was part of the original park. But just having two of them is kind of pointless because it's bad on the producers, the writers, whoever's idea really was to come up with that. I think it's bad on their part.
Yeah, so for our last question, we have, what do we think about the Bad Raptor pack? Now, this is rumored, it's not confirmed, nothing has been confirmed about this other pack, other than that we have been promised Raptor action by Colin, so it's just rumored that there's a wild pack of raptors in the restricted area of the park. And for me, I love it. Like I said earlier, I would absolutely love black raptors to kind of hunt down Owen's raptors, or have Owen's raptors hunt down his raptors. I think it would be a big surprise in the movie to have two packs of raptors, and I would absolutely love it. I just think that it would make sense to have another pack of raptors because not all of the Velociraptors died in the end of the first Jurassic Park, and what is assumed to be Velociraptor eggs were found in Jurassic Park about a little more than midway through the movie. So I love the idea of them maybe being attacked in the old visitor center by the by the wild pack of raptors, maybe even in the same kitchen. So what do you think, Ellis?
As you said, maybe even cameo of the original raptors, which could probably not happen because they would be getting on now. They'd be quite old for raptors. They'd be like maybe a new pack, maybe they're kids or something in the restricted area. Definitely the restricted area, obviously, but maybe around the visitor center would be cool, and maybe a pack fight like wild animals. Maybe they have like a pack fight, and Owen has to control them. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, and I really like the idea of having the wild raptors. It would be really cool to see them fight. Maybe even befriend each other would be even cooler. But that's probably guaranteed not to happen.
What do you think, Haza?
Wild raptors in the old park would be awesome. That would bring back so much nostalgia to me and to every Jurassic Park fan if the characters go back to the old park and in the restricted area where we get to see all the old buildings and see that the wild raptors actually hiding out in the old sections of the park. Will there be the same surviving raptors from the first Jurassic Park film? It's likely, but then again it's unlikely because there are more raptors now assumed thanks to the eggs that were shown in Jurassic Park that give us the idea that more raptors were bred. There's probably going to be male and female raptors now hiding out in the park because they were able to change gender. Will they have adapted slightly and changed their look, or will they look exactly the same as the Jurassic Park raptors? That's also an idea. It's also interesting to note that we've seen how vicious the Velociraptors are when they fight. We've seen them in the Lost World when they were fighting at the end. the two of them were fighting in the old section of the sauna right at the end when they're about to leave the islands. You see two of the raptors fighting each other. So we know that they're vicious creatures, and we know that they can wield their weapons with devastating effects. So having Owen's pack possibly versus these raptors would be awesome.
What do you think, Wesley?
Yes, I'm hoping for the bad raptors to return. That would be so awesome. I mean, that's what made the first movie the scariest, is the kitchen scene. And for it might to happen in the kitchen scene again or in the old visitor center would be awesome. And like you said, something about black raptors, I think that's a cool idea and concept. And I want to see, I would love to see that actually. Especially, with Owen's raptors, I want to see how they would fight. I want to see the Owen's raptors versus their raptors, how different, how tactical is his raptors and how wild are those raptors. I just want to see if they even try to talk to each other or anything like that. That'd be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it would be cool to see them talk to each other. What do you think, Jurassic World?
Well, yeah, from the Mark Anglin at Comic-Con, we know that either that was just created from his mind or there actually are going to be old raptors, which I'm hoping there are. And they're most likely the descendants of the original raptors, or the other raptors may have possibly lived that long, but they'd be really old. And maybe the leaders of that pack, maybe like the chief of those packs. But I think that possibly Owen and his raptor pack may run into them, and they may go against Owen or just go against the park visitors. Like we know from the Lego sets, we have Raptor Rampage and Raptor Escape, so there could be something going on there. And also, Owen's raptors could fight the other raptors, and one of his raptors could possibly die from that. And they may have the same color scheme, or it may be different. So, yeah, I'm really all for them to return. And, yeah, I'm just excited to see if they return or not.
Axel, what do you think?
I agree once again to most of what you guys have said. I love the idea, if it's true or not, to add bad wild raptors from the first Jurassic Park movie hiding in the restricted area of the old Jurassic Park at Isla Nublar. I also think, like you guys said, it would be awesome to see Owen's raptor pack fighting the bad raptors and the wild raptors in Isla Nublar, and also maybe they could fight either in the jungle or in the old visitor center. That would be a ton of nostalgia, and also be a good homage to the first movie. So that would be awesome.
JP Carnotaur?
I think it would be awesome. Old pack of rap, or I think it might be maybe two of Owen's bad, and consider the band.
You're breaking up really bad. Sorry about that. Can you, anything you can do to fix the mic?
I don't think so. I guess I'll just sign off.
Okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We're sorry we had a couple of technical difficulties this time around, but hopefully it wasn't too bad. We have a lot of great channels. In fact, everyone that has been on here has been in a channel, has their own channel, sorry. We have JP Carnotaur. If you ever want toy reviews, he does really, really good toy reviews. So definitely check that out. We have Wesley. Now, his channel will be in the description. Wesley, what's the name of your channel again?
It's called Whittly Whompers. It's actually a very odd name, but it stuck with me for a while.
Oh, okay. Well, he makes he makes movies, and they're really good. Nick, JP Carnotaur, do you have something to add?
Jeremy, I bought the first two out of 5 Jurassic World toys, the Hero Master set, Rhino and Mosasaur, and the Dimorphodon set. If you guys want to see them reviewed before anybody else, definitely check out my channel.
Yeah. He's got a lot of reviews up there, and it sounds like he's got some cool ones coming. And as I said, Wesley makes awesome movies. And then we have Axel. Axel, what's the name of your channel again? Axel, are you there?
Oh yes, I forgot to unmute my mic. My channel name is AxelVS94. Go to my channel, you can see some mixed videos.
Yeah, he does some lightsaber tutorials, and he's got some awesome tributes on some of your favorite dinosaurs. He's got a Giganotosaurus one, he's got a T-Rex one, and we have Ellis here who's going to be doing some Jurassic World stuff, and he also has some drawings on his channel right now. It'll be really cool to check those out. Of course, we have the Captain Says, who had to step out. He has a gaming channel. It's just called The Captain Says. It should be one of the first ones. He also did a little bit of a trailer breakdown of Age of Ultron, so that was really cool. We have Up in the Pocket, which is Sean's channel, and he's going to be doing stuff there. We have Jurassic World, of course. A lot of you guys know him. He does the big news on Jurassic World. And Haza, who just is doing some awesome, pretty funny Jurassic Park videos as of now, but he'll be moving into more serious things later. So, anyone have anything to add before we all say goodbye? No?
In Colin, we try to add.
Go ahead, Wesley.
I said, in Colin we trust, and I hope he's spared no expense.
Yeah. What do you have to say, Haza?
No, I was just gonna say. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, just thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and have a great day, guys.